the 57th all-time meeting between these two programs is underway as the Bears control the tip. There's the aforementioned Alize Johnson, right wing. There's Dequon Miller. Now in the corner, they go down low. Johnson immediately double-teamed, kicked it opposite corner. Three is short, and the rebound goes to JoJo McGlaston.
Really good defensive energy on that first possession by Bradley. Lots of center line help, good recovery to challenge the shot on the three. They need to keep that up all night against this Missouri State team.
Hodgson goes opposite the ball screen, gives to McGlaston. Back to an open Hodgson, who's been red hot from three in the Valley. Couldn't connect that time. He actually leads the Valley in three-point percentage during conference games at 56% coming in. Jared Rhodes, the 6'6" junior out of Palmetto, Florida, faces up to Obadiah Church just inside the arc. And a quick step.
Searching for it, and you're just putting yourself in a bad position where you usually end up with a reach or a block.
Bounce pass intended for Church, stolen away about half. They really defined the expression defense turned into offense, and let's see if they can get a bucket out of the turnover here.
Yeah, Bradley's done great back cut by Joe. Brown out tonight. No one guy's going to replace it. They're just going to need everyone to pick their game up a little bit. Most of it's going to fall on Hodgson to kind of step into that floor general role, which he's done a nice job of playing with Brown and spelling Brown this season already, but that's a good sign early here in the game.
Dixon pump fake on a three. Good close by Hodgson defensively. Now Thomas out on Alize Johnson. The leading rebounder in the Valley pulls up and is well short. And the Braves don't mind if he lives out there all night.
No, not at all. I mean,
he's a good shooter, but still.
Right. You'd much rather have him pulling up and shooting jump shots than slashing.
And I believe Alex Foster-Trapp taking care of the basketball on Saturday against the Purple Aces. Yeah,
Bradley has done a pretty consistently good job all year defensively, forcing these turnovers. It's the times where they let their concentration slip a little bit and they start turning the ball over on the offensive end is where it hurts them.
Hodgson puts it on the floor. He's got some space. Lobbed up to Thomas.
And that's what you really like to see. 2 buckets early in the game, both of them on assists, both of them on good cuts to the basket by your forwards.
Going with the ball straight as Dixon had it stripped by McGlaston. The Braves off to a good start to Cannell. Back cut for Hodgson. Wisely pulls it out as the pass was deflected. Good position down low for Foster. Good footwork, goes up and scores. Alex Foster, the transfer from Texas Tech, getting the start tonight on his senior night.
Boy, and you can hear the energy from the Bradley bench. There's no question who the aggressor is here in the first 3 minutes of this game so far.
And we've talked at length and to nausea, really, about some of the slower starts Bradley's gotten off to in halves. Not the case tonight. Wasn't the case on Saturday either. Miller, good find to Johnson, blocked by Foster, but he will go down. Performance in Missouri State's comeback win over Drake makes really kind of put Bradley up for good in the second half against the Aces.
And he's another guy Bradley's going to be looking to tonight. A little bit of the slack left behind by Brown's injury. Certainly capable of doing it.
So 3.5 minutes into this one, the Bears still without a field goal. Thomas, top of the circle, gives to JoJo. Free throw line extended on the left. There's the ball fake. Another step back jumper is up. And there's Johnson. Miller, he's got a quick trigger, and he makes the Braves pay. Dequon Miller, who had 24 against the Braves in Springfield earlier this year. Good move by Hodgson. Nice touch, couldn't quite finish. Love the look, though.
That's a good possession, though. It was a really nice skip pass over to Hodgson. Read the defense. Missouri State's being really aggressive out on the perimeter. That's where you're seeing a lot of back cuts and skip passes early on from Bradley, and they're getting good looks at the bucket.
They really, really are. A lot of high percentage look. The Braves dig it out from Johnson immediately. Miller, another three, and that's good. That goes back to one of our keys, Brian, is that When you do double Johnson, it's a good strategy, but obviously, as the Braves know, it's going to give some open opportunities for some threes.
Right, you know, Bradley, they're the ones that if they get going, you might be in for a long night.
The Braves will inbound, and Missouri State really extending that defense, as you mentioned, right before the timeout, Brian. Hodgson, Braves got 3 to shoot. Somehow gets it to go, splitting a pair of defenders and bails out the Braves. Yeah, a really nice move.
Nice possession. It looked like the Bears threw a little curveball, came out in a zone that possession. I think they were tired of getting back cut and skip past almost to death those first few minutes. So let's see if they stay in the zone, if it was just a one-possession thing or if they stick with it.
Miller, baseball pass out to the right, driving in his Rhodes. Step back jumper is no good, and that's exactly what we talked about with getting a body. Dante Thomas clearing out Johnson for the board.
Right, Braves doing a really nice job on the defensive glass so far. I could be wrong, but I don't think the Bears have an offensive rebound yet tonight.
You are correct. D'Lo gives the Cannell, pump fakes. He's got space, had it stripped and into the hands of Jordan Martin, who just checked in for Missouri State.
The NCAA might have a problem with it.
Johnson makes the Troutman, who's a Pittsburgh standout. He actually graduated. The team beat Pittsburgh in the round of 32 in 2006.
That's right. Yeah, I remember the name very well. Trout was a good player at Pitt.
Wouldn't have mattered in 06, though, right? Even if
I like to think not, right?
That was the game Pat had, right? Against Aaron Gray.
Yeah, Pat and Aaron Gray had a great matchup that game. You know, another good one that game was really all of our guards.
Well, Alize Johnson certainly living up to good extended family of Siobhan Troutman with his play. Goes baseline. Blocked away by Koch Barr, who leads the Braves in that very category. D'Lo running the other way. Von Bray steps into a 3 and gets the bounce.
Nice transition by the Braves. Really nice play by Barr down here to start it with that block. Van Bray closed out to Johnson a little close to the line, so Johnson, you know, wanting to get to the rim rather than shooting, took it in there, and Barr was right there to turn him away.
Barr comes over, it doesn't matter. And
at least that wasn't just a mental lapse. That was a little bit of a scramble on some aggressive defense.
Did miss the free throw. And we're tied at 11. As Cannell calls the play, gets the high screen roll from Barr. Good show by Church. Von Bray, same spot, same result for the sophomore.
And Bradley, that's not the first time tonight that they've recognized Missouri State overplaying the screen and roll a little bit. And that backside guard is able to sneak up to the wing for a wide open 3 because his man's drifted down into the paint. So, you know, unless Missouri State makes that adjustment, that's something that Bradley can keep going back to all night.
Driving in his Rhodes, step back over D'Lo. Nice touch by Jared Rhodes, averaging 7 points per game. Cannell crosses over, gives to Antoine Pittman, who just checked in for the Braves. Poked away from behind by Dequon Miller. Race to the basket. D'Lo influenced the shot, at least it seemed, but Dequon Miller, a really good finish at the rim.
Yeah, that's something that Bradley's guards have to be aware of. That's twice already that Miller's had kind of a pickpocket from behind on one of the driving guards that's led to a fast break.
Miller nearly overshoots Church. And then good hands by Pittman. He looks to repay the favor and does with the lay-in on the other end.
And Bradley's doing what we talked about. They're building on that nice second half they had at Evansville. They've had a good first 9 minutes here so far.
Right side for Church, who is the MVC freshman, part of the All-MVC freshman team last year. Kicked back out, open 3, top of the circle is down from Jared Rhodes.
And that's just a little lapse there. You know, D'Lo is coming off his man to double Johnson when he gets it in the post, and you just got to have that Saturday, and you know, hopefully he won't lose too much time, especially going into St. Louis next week.
The Braves have been good out of timeouts throughout the course of the year. Let's see if that trend continues. They're going to get a good look out of it. Thomas tried to collect the offensive rebound, but it finds the hands of Jared Rhodes, who's off to a good start for Missouri State.
And that was another defensive trip out of a timeout where Missouri State came out.
Similar to Hodgson's night on Saturday, where he missed his first couple of threes and then hit 3 in a row in the second half. McGlaston, who was in foul trouble for the majority of the night, pulls up from 3. And the rebound goes to Chris Kendricks, who checked in for the Bears. There's Ryan Krecklow, a sharpshooter, gives it up top to Rhodes, left side for Kendricks, the junior from Willard, Missouri. They swing around the horn, looking to post up Church. Good denial by the Braves. And that's a travel. Second half ended up with 5.7 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 blocks in that ball game.
And that's good to see. We all know Von Bray can shoot, but it's the things you do on the nights when you're not getting your shot or your night's not falling. He's shown he can do that, which is a good sign, especially going into the home stretch here.
Pittman bounces to Thomas, who's pushed out back to the basket. Give and go back to Pittman. Goes up, had it blocked by the Valley Blocks leader, but JoJo cleans it up off the glass. There's a hometown Community Bank shot for you. Good first half, a lot of ties, lead changes, 18 apiece. Missouri State, like you said during the break, it feels like Bradley's had the upper hand, but the Bears are hitting threes.
Until that shot, Dequon Miller was 3 for 3. Hit a couple timely three-pointers to keep the game early from getting a little out of hand for Bradley. But Bradley's playing well. Missouri State's just hit a tough shot here and there so far.
Von Bray goes opposite the screen, gets cut off, opposite corner, JoJo, and it spins out. We saw that a couple of times on Saturday. Unfriendly rims there.
And that ball was more than halfway down before it rattled out.
Get at least a point and a half for that. Krecklow's deadly from there and shows why.
And see, there's another breakdown on the scramble. We've said it before, when you're playing aggressive defense like this, that's fine, but you have to make sure you keep track of personnel. You keep the scouting report in the back of your mind, and you don't leave the guys that can hurt you from out there.
Look at Dante Thomas.
Great follow. Little lapses can be made up for with hustle plays on the other end.
Yeah, and Thomas played tremendously on Saturday. 13 points, 13 rebounds against Evansville. Had 17 points season high against Missouri State in Springfield. High flash for Kendricks. Gives right wing to Krecklow, drives in, jump stop, nearly traveled. Krecklow got another. They didn't get it off. Great.
Like Bradley should be winning. They're just, a mistake here and a mistake there that Missouri State has capitalized on, and that's where we're at.
Off a stagger double, there's Hodgson, and then they immediately go down to Alex Foster on the low block. Spins in, right hand baby hook, left short. And Alize Johnson with it the other way. Miller, good cut off and closed by Hodgson. Back to Johnson, right wing. Miller near the timeline. In the corner, Johnson. Another good defensive sequence so far from the Braves. JoJo in to dig it out from Johnson. He's having trouble with it. Finally kicks it up top. They kick it in the corner. Open three is no good.
Really nice position. And you can see every time Johnson touches the ball anywhere outside of the perimeter, post or short or a high post, anything like that, Bradley's sending a double down there to get it out of his hands as quickly as they can.
Obadiah Church blocks it away. Good effort by Foster.
Which official came in, maybe had a better view of it and overturned it.
Braves just 2 of 8 from 3. 9 of 21 from the floor so far tonight. Jordan Martin, right wing. Jared Dixon, the sophomore out of Kansas City, gives to Miller out of Charleston, West Virginia. Miller, the MVC newcomer of the year a year ago, gives in to Dixon. Finger roll no good, and a foul over.
Out to a nice early lead because they were exploiting that. They were back cutting, they were throwing, finding skip passes. So when they're going to be pressuring you out on the perimeter, that's what you got to look for first, before the three-point shot.
Down low, wide open, Foster who lays it in.
Exactly like that.
Good call, they were listening to you.
Yeah.
Occasionally they'll make us look good on the broadcast.
Right, but that's what Missouri State has been doing tonight. They're aggressive on the perimeter. They're kind of overplaying the ball. So he's picked a couple pockets so far, but really a pretty good job taking care of the ball so far this first half.
First 30 for Missouri State. Braves in a zone. Try to switch things up defensively, and they get a deflection and a steal. Behind the back dribble, Hodgson is cut off by Dixon. And the Braves will reset. They give, oh no, I thought he gives it to Thomas, but scissors his way through, and Foster's fouled.
Off to Foster, trying to convert the 2 free throws now.
So Foster, high school game at this arena. He's going to play his last collegiate home game at this arena too. They played in the title game here at Carver with Seton Academy.
Yeah, like we've said before, guys who play high school basketball in Illinois are already familiar with Carver, whether they come down to watch the state tournament or, as is the case a lot of times when you make it to this level, they played in the state tournament. It's nice to have a little bit of familiarity when you come here.
Offensive foul.
Arena career on a high note.
Cannell is going to walk it up for the Braves, guarded by Dequon Miller. Cannell, the freshman out of Metamora. It's the high ball screen from D'Lo. And from Barr, they slip it to Barr, who throws it down. More of it.
And, another really nice recognition. They're overplaying the ball screen, but then on the backside, they were overplaying the skip pass. Your backside defenders weren't on that center line, and that was just, a wide open lane for Barr.
Really digging it out from Johnson, and to give the players credit too for executing that game plan.
I was going to say, you get this far into the league season, and you know everything about your opponents in the league. The key is, can you execute that game plan and exploit what you know?
What a take by Von Bray!
Turnovers low. Turning over Missouri State, keeping them off the offensive glass. It's going to be a good night for Bradley. 0 offensive rebounds for the Bears, the leading rebounding team in the Valley. They've also turned it over 9 times as opposed to just 4 for the Braves. Bradley's taken 9 more shots than Missouri State. 16 minutes in. That's a tough shot by Jared Rhodes. I think out of 16 Valley contests so far this season, Missouri State has won the rebounding battle in 15 of them. So Bradley's doing a really nice job, putting in a lot of effort to keep the Bears off the glass.
Look at points in the paint, too, an area where Missouri State's done well in those high percentage looks down low.
Right, and JoJo, you see the look on his face. He knows he just got away with a little too nonchalant of a pass. Got tipped out of bounds, but these passes have to be crisp when it's going against a defense like Missouri State.
The shot clock was winding down. Maybe had a little more time, but misfired on the 3, and it goes back over to the Bears.
Von Bray saw the clock under 5, thought it'd break out his Steph Curry impression for the night. But
here's Rhodes. Spinning, and it spins out. Cannell the other way. Splits defenders, poked away, and numbers for the Bears. The Johnson nifty pass down low to Krecklow, who lays it in. And nearly cherry picking on the other end, McGlaston gets it back. Good record of Braves to push it up the floor. Right,
that's one thing you leave yourself susceptible to when you're running a fast break like Missouri State did off that turn. It's been a good job so far.
Comes a double screen. Now Johnson splits away. Miller just inside the free throw line. Gets the bounce. Dequon Miller now with 10 points, leads all scorers. He's 4 of 5 shooting. Always seems to just play really well against the Braves.
Yeah, and a lot of players seem to have that one opponent that, for one reason or another, you got them figured out. You play. Yeah, Bradley's going to throw D'Lo, see if he can use his size and strength a little bit against Miller. you know, having a pull-up at the free
here in the first half. Missouri State a comeback win at.
So far, they've stuck to their scouting report. Anytime he touches the ball, not on the perimeter. And those are the spots where they've had, you know, a lapse here, a lapse there on someone else when they're doubling and they're missing a rotation. So, you know, you say, well, Johnson's not going to beat us. We got to make someone else beat us. Well, you're doing a good job on Johnson. Now you just got to make sure that that someone else doesn't come along.
Good strength by Foster, tipping it, trying to stick with it, and it's pulled down by the Bears. Miller gives to Kreklow. Blocked from behind by JoJo. That's a jump ball, right?
Yep. JoJo was able to get the block and, you know, held ball, possession Bradley.
Tyler McCullough checks in for Missouri State. D'Lo has it guarded by Miller near the timeline. Blaze will have a chance likely for a 2-for-1 here to close out the half. Foster on the short baseline, puts it on the floor, back up top for Hodgson, swing it left side, D'Lo, 7 to shoot. Has it stripped and poked away and stolen away, and the Bears give it right back to Bradley, and the Braves will pull it out. About an 8-second differential, shot clock to game clock.
Yeah, it looks like Coach Wardle's going to want a timeout here that comes out in the zone as they have out of a timeout.
Right.
No, it looks like, yeah, it looks like it might be a 1-3-1 zone this time.
It's really extended far out, too, huh? 10 to shoot. Here's Hodgson looking at the back cut. Instead to D'Lo. Fakes the 3. Splits a pair of defenders. A slashing Thomas slams it home. Work to perfection.
Great job. Swing the ball once or twice. Good aggressive drive. And take it.
That's a tough.
That I'm not going to leave this guy or that guy. You've got to be selective in who you leave open.
Jared Dixon begins the half with possession. Alize Johnson, who had a buzzer-beating 3 to end the half, has it, and he gives away to the left side for Dixon. Miller, top of the circle, right wing. Same starters for the Braves, minus Foster is out. Kochbar in to start the half. That you don't mind from a three-point attempt. Dixon, a 29% three-point shooter. That's exactly what you were talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're going to be selective because, like we said, a nice drive by Cannell. But like we said, you know, just a minute ago, you know, if you're going to be aggressive in the post, you're just going to live with leaving someone open on the perimeter. That was a nice job on the first possession of leaving the right guy open on the perimeter.
Nate Cannell gets on the board scoring-wise. He does have 5 assists, and the Braves, they do end up forcing a turnover. I thought that one was going to trickle out of bounds. But the Braves have asked Cannell to do a little bit more ball handling tonight with Darryl Brown out. 5 assists so far.
Right, I mean,
10 assists for Bradley. Bar there, and had it ripped away by Dixon. Sophomore out of Kansas City, Johnson. And they swing it around the horn.
Yeah, you know, Barr, when you're 6'10" and you get a rebound like that, you want to keep the ball above your head, because when you bring it down, you leave yourself susceptible to those guards down there.
Thinking. Tell them we've been working together for the last game. Open 3, that was a travel. And that's Jarrett Rose. You're the coaching staff too, and he really dragged his feet.
Yeah, I mean,
that should have been a turnover.
Coach Wardle's going to get in the ref's ear down here a little bit to let him know about it.
Yeah, not going to be perfect. And like we said, it's been a very well officiated game in my opinion. So this one from here and there, JoJo tried.
You know, if he just turned and looked at the basket, he would have had a little jump shot.
10 to shoot. Short baseline, Thomas stumbles and on the floor, and
that's a travel too.
That's going to be a travel.
A little bit of trouble in the first couple minutes here figuring out this 1-3-1 zone Missouri State came out in.
Cannell, decent look out of the inbounds, couldn't connect. Dixon, Dequon Miller. Miller skipped to the corner for Johnson. Dante Thomas, who's done a really good job on him in this ball game.
Yeah, Dante Thomas, especially, being tasked with guarding Alizé Johnson. He's done a nice job so far.
And Missouri State now with their largest lead. It's been a very close contest throughout. They now lead by 5.
And they're extending the zone to about 3/4 court, and then they're just going to fall right back into it. Like we said last possession, Bradley is just having a tough time for some reason figuring this 1-3-1 out.
JoJo left it short. Thomas kept it alive, finds Barr. Here's a cutting McGlaston. And find some cutting players to the basket. And here's McGlaston at 65%. This is just the 3rd free throw Bradley's attempted. JoJo at 8.6 points per game, the transfer from Utah State. In the second one. Where's he going to stop here?
That's right. It's been a close game all night. Bradley has had a couple slow starts in the second half already this year, as there's a tough
part of the NBC all-freshman team last year, led all freshmen in steals, had 14 points in the win at Drake. Again, to reiterate, this game does have potential seeding implications for both sides. Bradley needs to win out, needs Missouri State to lose against Wichita. Lob was too high for Thomas, and then the Braves needs a little bit of help in the RPI category. That's got to be a charge, right? It is.
Yeah, got to figure out, this pressure isn't doing much to them. It's when they drop back into that 1-3-1 zone that Bradley's having a lot of trouble with.
They got numbers. 15-footer from McGlaston short.
And see, when you get it behind the first wave of the press like that, you can almost treat it like a fast break. I would have liked seeing JoJo take another dribble or two, go until that second layer of the defense comes up to stop him, and then see what your options are. Dump into the block, kick into the corner, or taking a 5-footer.
Missouri State might have gotten away with an over and leads all scorers. Will go to the line. He's already at his season average. 3 Bears in double figures as he misses the free throw. Good start out of the timeout. Rhodes and Johnson also in double figures for Missouri State. Bradley's yet to have someone get into that category. The scoring's been much more spread out. Short baseline. Good quick passing by the Braves. Good pump fake by Von Bray and an easy deuce.
Another good play Coach Wardle set up out of the timeout. He had a chance to assess that 1-3-1 zone. That was a really nice short corner to baseline cut. You kind of overload the zone here on the left side, and that's what you get.
Already eaten off half of the shot clock. Good defensive possession so far for the Braves, and
not too difficult to call for the rest.
Right, yeah, crowd didn't like it, but he tripped him up.
Yeah.
Flash to the ball by Church. Miller with the dribble. They find an open 3 from Rhodes. It's no good. Looking ahead for D'Lo. Skies to get it. Gives to Thomas at the elbow. Pulls it out. Von Bray pump fake on a 3. Thomas skips to D'Lo, and Braves will calm down. Lodier Ogunleye. Good ball movement. Cannell wide open from 3. Great possession.
1. That's the weak spot. You get someone in the middle of that zone, it forces them to commit, and it opens up either the block or the wing, like you just saw there with the open 3 for Cannell.
And when you get a touch in that middle, it just opens up so many options, right?
Yeah, I mean, different zones have different weak spots, and on the 1-3-1, you're going to force someone to come up and cover that middle. You see a strong putback there. But you're going to force someone to come up. You're going to make the decision. They've got to guard the 12-footer. So are they going to leave the block or the wing open?
Von Bray steps into a deuce and connects. Bray's back to within 4 after the emphatic tip-back dunk by Obadiah Church on the previous possession for the Bears. Church, the sophomore out of Springfield, Illinois. There's the screen and roll off of the hands of Church, and up since that timeout.
Right. I mean, sometimes Bradley, coming out in the zone, you kind of sit back just in your area of the zone, and you can kind of lack that energy. But you've seen him pick it up the last couple of possessions, because even though you're not going to, ratchet that energy up by coming out and pressuring away on the perimeter, you got to you got to use that energy getting into passing lanes and getting those active hands like D'Lo just did on that last possession into passing lanes.
Trying to draw the contact, it doesn't matter. Cannell banks it in off the glass, and the Braves now within 2 on a 9-2 run. It was around that time in the second half on Saturday when the Braves made their run against Evansville, and now they're within 2 here. 10 to shoot. Let's see if they can get another stop. Krecklow had it poked and stolen away, and it finds the hands of Dixon, who throws up a wild shot with the shot clock running down.
Clock down at that end. Right. Dixon and Von Bray both a little bit of a rush shot down there in under 5 seconds.
But I was mentioning Les in his 6th year, assistant under Matt Painter in Purdue, actually under Gene Cady as well, a great player in the Valley at SIU. And of course, Brian Wardle in his 2nd year at Bradley, as D'Lo gives the Braves the lead. This is almost a carbon copy of Saturday. The Braves are down big, come back. D'Lo hits a 3 to put them up. Let's see if they can mimic Saturday's end result as well and go ahead for good.
Well, I'll tell you, whatever Coach Wardle said to his team in that last time out, he might want to keep that in his back pocket because it's working here in the last few minutes.
Krecklow to answer, no. Here's a 2-on-1. D'Lo to Hodgson, up and in.
And you see here, this is looking like the first few minutes of the game where Bradley has become the aggressor. This is what was lacking.
Offensive rebound by Missouri State, and that was that putback dunk by Obadiah Church. See what Paul Luss designs out of the timeout. Johnson, they're looking for McCullough down low.
Yeah, Von Bray's doing a nice job fronting that post, denying the entry pass.
7 to shoot. Cannell on Miller. He can't create his own shot. He steps back. That's great defense. Just a better shot by Dequon Miller.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much you can do about that. Nice possession. About 27 seconds of really solid defense, and just a tough shot by a tough shot maker, Miller.
Miller now with 14. Hodgson skips to D'Lo. He's been hot from 3. Not this time. Off the mark, but a good shot.
Yeah, I mean, that's another one of those. It seems like every possession, there's either a backdoor or a skip pass or something like that.
You will certainly enjoy him in St. Louis. Great player, great in the clubhouse. Game 7 hero as well for the Cubs.
We'll forgive him for that.
Thrown away.
To get back to the defensive set they were running when they gave Bradley some fits, extending that zone a little bit. Let's see, it looks like they're going to drop back into man-to-man here.
Hodgson finds Von Bray. Left wing Cannell, who's been big in the second half.
You saw, was that Miller or Dixon Gardner?
Might have been Dixon. I'm not sure.
I think it was Dixon. He got caught looking for the screen, just like Cannell did a little bit earlier in the game. When you're looking for that screen, you take your eye off your man for that split second. He's going to take you the opposite way.
Couldn't finish at the rim, and there's Thomas. D'Lo in transition, skip to Hodgson, finds a cutting Von Bray. In the lane with the right, he scores.
And really, D'Lo should get a hockey assist for that. That was a great skip pass. He saw Von Bray was going to be rim running on that. Knew that Hodgson would have a good angle from the other wing. Really nice setup by D'Lo.
Yeah, really gave the Braves a good angle on that entry pass. Absolutely right. Kendricks posting up to Church on the give and go to Kendricks. And the breaker. Completely agree. Just a tremendous job. And Dante Thomas has really continued on his pace of a great second half, too. He's got 5 rebounds, 4 points, but more importantly, he's kept Alize Johnson off the offensive glass. Barr at the rim, he scores.
And somehow, my view was blocked a little bit, but somehow Miller got matched up on Barr on that pick and roll. Nice recognition by the Braves to take advantage of that inside.
Kendricks denied, looking for Miller, and so they swing it right side for Dixon. To Church, reverse layup is good. A nice move by the sophomore.
Yeah, nice move to stifle the momentum a little bit, quiet the crowd down for a second. Bradley's going to try to get right back at him here as Missouri State drops back into match up more of a 2-3 zone here.
D'Lo jump stop, kicks it out. McGlaston three is short. Good look, though.
But you know what? That's a good possession. That's how you attack a zone. In and out, side to side. They ended up getting as clean of a look as you can hope for. It just didn't go down.
More active hands from D'Lo. The Braves get a steal. Kicked out to D'Lo. Drives in. Spins back toward the middle. Right hand. Count it.
And D'Lo's starting to feel a little bit. You know, hit a couple outside shots, get your confidence up a little bit. You know, a couple nice defensive plays. You know, they're looking to close this game out here in the next 7 minutes.
Jumper from Church knocks it down, and
next 3 minutes I think are going to be really important because it's going to set the tone for the final 4 minutes in this game, where if you can extend the lead by a couple more points here in the next 3 minutes, you know, playing the last 4 with a 8 or 10 point lead is much different than playing with a 5-point lead. It's a different dynamic.
Certainly in Missouri State, a team that's shown the ability to come back. They did it the other night. They hung tough with Illinois State down to the final possession in Springfield recently as well, and then Hodgson bumps.
You know, trying to keep them in front, but
that's offensive.
And now an offensive foul absolutely going, especially when it's right in front of the ref. You're making their job easy.
If you're just joining us, Darryl Brown Jr. out tonight. Minor sprained ankle. He's day-to-day. Optimistic that he might be able to play on Saturday, but the Braves have done a good job picking up the slack with their leading scorer and star freshman out tonight. D'Lo opposite the screen, underhand shovel out of bounds.
Job driving, you know, nice look under to the baseline. Just the execution was a little off.
Oh, this bench points 27-5 in favor of Bradley.
And, yeah, that was something I was going to bring up as well. You know, when we talk at the top of the broadcast about everyone needing to pick up the slack when someone like Brown goes down, if you can get 25 points off the bench, you know, that's huge as Miller makes another tough shot.
Man, he is just red hot. He's got 17, coming off a 16.4 assist game against Drake.
Yeah, and Miller
has
really picked up the slack for Alize Johnson tonight.
Hands by Barr, and nice controlled finish by the freshman big.
And that's something. It's been fun to watch Barr's development this year. You know, it's always interesting to see big men develop, and you know, Barr's got a nice soft touch. His passing has improved as the year's gone on. You know, he's made some really nice improvements over the course of the season.
Excellent defensive effort by the Braves on that trip. D'Lo backing his man down. Bounce pass. Here's Hodgson. There's a 3-ball.
And Hodgson's going to get teed up for talking a little bit. Trying to listen in here between Coach World and the officials, but it's hard to hear over all the boos. I mean, that's a tough call to make in a situation like this. And that, you're right, you know, depending on how the Braves respond here, that could be a momentum breaker. They want to make sure that that's not the case here.
Dixon, right side, Miller, loses it temporarily. He's got Thomas on him. Bounce pass through the hands of Johnson.
You know, it's a simple error by Johnson, but that's a product of Bradley's defense speeding them up late in the shot clock.
Lutier Ogunleye off the double screen. Cannell's got space, finds Thomas cutting in off the glass and good.
Great find. Cannell, initially you could see he was wide open. He's going up for the shot, kind of in the motion. He saw Thomas cutting on that baseline. Great find by Cannell.
In the corner, driving baseline, stepping back and missing, and the shot is Rhodes. And again, just one chance at the bucket for the Bears.
And that's exactly the response that Coach Wardle was looking for after that technical. That could have gone, you know, the last few possessions could have gone much worse. That could have been a game changer after that call, but Bradley responded really nicely here the last couple of possessions. 6, you know, for Missouri State, the scoring is pretty much confined to Rhodes, Johnson, and Miller, and a team effort or a spread-out effort by Bradley.
That used a lot of their bench earlier on in the season. They've really tightened up their rotation, as evident by the stat sheet tonight. Their win at Drake, their 5 starters all played 35 minutes or more. We've seen not quite as big totals, but similar here tonight, and you got to think that they'll run with these guys the rest of the game too. Miller, as you mentioned moments ago, 19 points, 7 of 8 from the floor. Johnson goes up, somehow scores, and
he got himself in a bad way, and now Johnson's trying to convert the three-point play.
Braves. Johnson now with 13 points to go along with 5 rebounds. Cannell dribbles out of trouble, finds Von Bray, and the Braves wisely reset.
Yeah, you know, earlier in the season, I think Von Bray might have been a little more tempted to take that shot, but yeah, I know we've talked about this before on previous broadcasts, you know, when...
Ooh. Sit back, no, third time, no, but a foul.
When you're a really good decision by Von Bray to pull it out.
And Joe, where he's 4 of 5. Braves up 8. One shy of their largest lead. Time winding down. Rhodes lobs it up. Church back to Rhodes. Inside the arc. Do you believe this? Have a chance to make it double digits with the bucket. Who would have thought after it seemed like Missouri State had really seized any kind of momentum. 15 minutes left.
And now they're really going to try to force the issue. They know Bradley's going to want to slow the tempo down and milk the clock here every possession they get. And Missouri State's going to try to take advantage of that, you know, try to catch Bradley kind of back on their heels and force them into doing something quicker than they want to do.
Thomas keeps it alive, tips it out.
And a good decision by Cannell.
Yep,
he could have had an open jumper there. But realize another 30 seconds off the clock is more valuable.
And another poke from behind by Miller. Drives baseline, double team, kicks it out, open 3. Rhodes is down.
You know, the crowd wanted a foul on that.
Not necessarily dropping, but they're getting high percentage looks and playing good D, and hopefully they can close it out here, but really showing that they can win and take leads in a variety of manners.
That's right, and you know, to be honest, if this were your only game watching Bradley this year, you wouldn't guess they're a 10-win team. I mean, they're playing well above that, and you know, they've shown some progress over the last couple weeks, and I think here in the last couple minutes is where they can really show growth.
That's a big shot by Luke Von Bray.
Shot when something didn't go your way to come right back out of a timeout, execute that play and nail that shot.
Miller and 1 points. Miller 2 of 3 from the line tonight. He made a foul shooter, a 3 of 4, right at his average, but good answer by the Bears, and back to within 5, approaching 60 seconds remaining. And they're going to foul the big at 6 of 9, 67%. Not right at their average.
And I think they missed.
Back to a 7-point, 3-possession game for the Braves. And they'll provide a little bit of pressure just to slow down the Bears.
Right. You know, now that you're under a minute, you know, every second becomes critical, and if you can buy yourself
22. If he makes these two, will match his total against Bradley and Springfield, a 14-point win for the Bears. Cannell doubled, dribbles through it, and is fouled from by 8 assists in the ball game too.
Just going to increase Coach Wardle's displeasure in the last few minutes here with this.
The Braves really knocking down their free throws down the stretch. And Cannell, the old broadcaster jinx. Let's see if the Braves can get a stop. Still a 2-possession game, and that can be won with this 3. It's not, however, and there's D'Lo to haul in the board, and he's fouled. That's the 10th.
Stops, and it's going to be a parade to the free throw line.
Round of applause as he heads to the bench. D'Lo's second
Yeah, Bradley going a little smaller here, I suspect, so they can have the personnel to switch on any screens so they can really guard the perimeter in the last minute here.
Man, Miller is just playing extreme statement. He's now 9 of 10 from the floor, 26 points. And a time. Hudson can run the baseline after the made basket. There's the one pass, and then they get a foul. It's really started to fill up different areas of the stat sheet. First looking for their 6th conference win. And again, would get rid of the Valley regular season title.
Right. So Bradley, is doing their best to do their part here. They're going to ask Wichita State for a little help, which they're likely to get. But Bradley doing all they can here to hold on and control their own destiny as much as they can.
And they're going to hold on because, oh, maybe not. I thought Missouri State had called off a big win for Bradley. And what especially after that second half, they got off to that good start as you referenced and fell behind, and again shown the ability to late and beat a talented Missouri State team.
Well, and also to string a couple of wins together.
Yep.
That's something Bradley hasn't done in a while, and just break it.